Hey everyone, my name is Noel Vega Jr. I'll be discussing Article 1 and Article 2, gender-free baby and couple finally reveals child gender 5 years after birth. Um, after reading these two articles, even though short, uh, they're very interesting. I never thought that neutralizing gender was a thing, nor an effective parenting strategy um, to the positive outcomes that occur before revealing the child's gender, not only to the child, but to the many others that you withhold it telling. So that was very, very interesting. A lot of positivities, a lot of positives, and it just raised a lot of questions um, from my interest in learning more about gender neutralization. But it also allowed me to reflect on my own parenting, uh, from my son's birth till now, and it was great to reflect on that and to see the similarities and the differences from my parenting to the to this certain type of parenting, and not revealing their gender. Extremely interesting. From Article 1, some interesting facts. I'm just surprised that 66% learned the sex of the child prior to birth. I thought, since it's gender is so important, so central, that this number should have been higher. I thought it should have been higher. Um, some of the reasons why they kept the sex secret: freedom from social norms. Parents make so many choices for their child, for their children. Hey, boys, you go this way. Girls do this thing, and that's how it's supposed to be. Nah, allow them to choose their own path. Challenges society's way of categorizing people. Gender is a powerful thing, especially when we talk about adolescence into young adulthood. It's powerful, and how society, developed this visual stimulus of how a male should be and how a female should be in this world. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. It's disgusting. Just be who you want to be. Um, this is something that should marinate in your mind a little bit. Something I caught myself early on in my parenting. Um, Parents not so subtle in imposing their own agenda on their kids. Living through your kids, man, don't do it. Allow them to have their own life. And finally, to summarize Article 1, this amazing, powerful quote: when will we live in a world where people can make choices to be whoever they are? We should live that daily. Daily. Article 2, focuses on um, the parent's son. His name is Sasha. And the reasons why they kept didn't reveal their child's gender, just avoiding stereotypes. Thought it was interesting how they called Sasha the infant until 5 years later. Just let the kid be a kid. Some of the reasons why they didn't reveal their gender. Consumer trapping. If you don't know what consumer trapping is, it's just gearing colors and toys towards gender groups. So blues and trucks towards boys, pinks and dolls towards girls. Cut it out, guys. Just allow the kid to buy whatever they want and support that. Character building. Um, I put a question mark about that. I'm just unsure if that is or should be an effective reason why. I think they're too young to develop or realize that they're developing character. And then this quote from a doctor in the article, I didn't put their name down, but they said the decision to withhold the child gender causes confusion with self, ID issues, and development. I would like to see more statistics on that and see how that plays, how withholding your gender plays into these things. I would like to see more statistics on that. So I'm unsure on that little quote right there. Anyway, next question: do you think it's possible to gender neutralize a child? I mean, that's a tough question. I mean, obviously, after reading these two impactful stories in these articles, yes, I think that it's possible, but I don't fully believe in it. I think there's too many variables in preventing it it to be fully impactful. So I understand the positivities that come out of it, but I mean, we can obviously reveal the gender and still have some of these positive outlooks. So I don't think it's that much to I don't think it's that much to say, hey, gender at a young age, at a young age like this, to neutralize the gender is impactful. I think there's too many variables to it. Good parenting, I mean, and developing um, beliefs and values that are powerful that support some of these positive outlooks that were deemed through neutralizing gender. So I think that I'm on the fence of it. I'm on the fence, to be honest. I'm just on the fence on it. And then other variables like grandparents and friends and family, other family members that want to support in many different ways. It's difficult not to tell them the gender of the baby. But I think the gender is powerful. Like I said before, that I think the gender is powerful at the age of adolescence to young adulthood, and I think that's where it needs to be more impactful in some of these qualities that you try to bring to a child. But definitely, effective parenting is one of those things. So I don't think it's possible at all. Are girls and boys really the same? Yeah, I think they are. I think we're very, very similar from infancy to toddlerhood, especially when the toddlers start becoming their own individual. You know, I mean, as an infant and in development to a toddlerhood, I mean, we're talking about motor skills being very similar. I'm talking about physical maturity, even though females are slightly shorter and lighter than boys. I mean, we're still going through that physical maturity. We're still going through that skeletal age where we're just getting measured and see if we're hitting a certain percentage as far as height and weight are concerned. We're all going to experience different learning techniques. If it's classical conditioning, operative conditioning, reinforcement, punishment, imitation. I mean, all those things are going to be experienced from infant being an infant to toddlerhood, and then the expected brain growth when we talk about sounds, language, environment, emotions. I mean, we're all going to experience that. If you're a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. We're going to experience it, and then it goes right into the dependent brain growth. When we talk about reading or writing, when we're talking about sports, when we talk about music, even though very individualist, I don't think that's individual kind of genres. We're all experiencing it, even though we're a boy or girl. So I think that's our various similarities again to I think we hit a certain age, and I think that age is adolescence, and that's when we develop our differences and allowing society really to take fold on how we view ourselves and how gender really incorporates us as human beings, because we want to portray these images and we want to portray these certain characteristics that society puts in place to be a successful female or male in this world. So I think that's how we're different in that sense. And obviously the physical characteristics of a male and female are different. We all know that. But I think we're the same to a certain age, and then we as male and female develop differently, and how our mind and our body works. I'm very interested to hear the rest of your comments. You'll be seeing some videos from me later on. Thanks, guys.